Is Jay-Z's luxury weed any good? An article by Sangeeta Singh Kurtz, December 30th, 2020. I'm a born-again virgin when it comes to marijuana. I was a rebellious teen when it was on the cusp of legalization in my home state. And its hazy legal status meant my peers and I would sometimes encounter evil weed that made you feel so bad. We all concluded it was probably laced with something more sinister. After one too many of these encounters, I swore off weed completely. It's a shame, really, because weed is so pretty now. As someone who has smoked out of a potato, my mind was blown on my first visit to an LA dispensary. Here were tiny blunts in pastel boxes, long joints holders a la breakfast at Tiffany's, and frescoes of the THC gummies that smelled like lemonade. I was tempted, but memories of evil weed stayed my hand. It was only when I had the opportunity to try Jay-Z's Luxe new weed brand Monogram that I thought, for journalism, why not? There was a lot about Monogram that appealed to me. I like fancy things, and this at $50 a joint was definitely luxury weed. Its packaging was sleek, minimal, and black, so it would match all of my clothes. Furthermore, as founder and creator, Jay-Z helped develop Monogram himself, meaning this weed was only 1 degree of separation away from Beyonce. Surely she'd tried it, and would want me to as well. I knew my tolerance would be low, so to keep things sciencey, I enlisted 2 additional subjects. Jay, my boyfriend, and an occasional smoker. And my friend Udhav, a certified stoner. With the experimental groups in place, it was time to introduce the variables Monogram is available in. It was time to introduce the variables. Monogram is available in 4 different strains: 01, 70, 88, and 96. The numbers don't mean anything, but each promises a distinct flavor profile and experience, from chill and focus to maximum bliss. Choose your strain based on the intensity of the sensory experience you want to have, light, medium, or heavy. Intrigued by this degree of calibration, in my experience, there's only high and too high, I was eager to begin. We started with strain number 96, which came as the Lucy's Parole, one of the brand's 3 product classes. The Lucy's are cute little joints about the size of a pinky finger, packaged in individual glass containers to preserve their freshness. I can imagine they'd be good for sharing or as stocking stuffers. Upon inhalation, you get a burst of sweet citrus, more tangerine than grapefruit, with a touch of strawberry in the aftertaste. Monogram says this should precede a heady high that releases your mind, which is precisely what happened to me a moment later. Shortly after a second hit, marvelously smooth with a titillating sherbet sweetness, I flopped back into the couch and became engrossed in Rick Steves' Europe. I was out, but my compatriots were still standing, giggling madly at a story I couldn't follow. Next was up strain number 1, designed to help you chill and focus. This came in flower form. Spring green buds with a glisten of orange sticky to the touch, and sealed in a reusable container with a childproof lock. At this point, a sober control group, my friend David, joined. While he's typically a cougher, the smoke went down without a hitch and left him with a nice, strong buzz. Both Jay and Udhav reported that strain number 1 was skunkier and danker than number 96, with a headier blackberry flavor forward. As for the experience, Number 1 was, as promised, very mellow. It was wavy, I feel like swaying, said UDEV, seesawing in place. Last up was the OG hand roll, the most Jay-Z-esque of Monogram's products. It's a giant weed cigar that comes in what looks like a Dior show mascara tube. It's also best smoked like a cigar. Rather than deep inhales, you sort of kiss it, letting small amounts of smoke in at a time. The hand roll came in strain number 88, crafted to elevate your mind and soul. A second sober control, my friend Sean, joined in and reported that number 88 smelled sweet and spicy with a hint of earthiness and left him with a distinctly cerebral high. After several hits, you'd have noticed that his vision had become sharper, more cinematic like Westworld. As they passed it around and thick clouds of piquant smoke enveloped me, I somehow understood what he meant. While not the best weed they'd ever had, all of the testers agreed that Monogram's products were excellent and made for an opulent smoking experience that would be worth the occasional splurge. I'd certainly recommend it as a tasteful weed gift for the smoker in your life. As for me, it was a pleasant reintroduction into the world of cannabis, and I wouldn't mind having a Lucy with Rick Steves once in a while. An article by Sangeeta Singh Kurtz, December 30th, 2020. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Peace, one love, Black Power. I'm out.